Hello dear student, welcome to new session of current electricity. It's our 7th lecture. In last lecture we'll discuss about Kirchhoff's law, and we know that Kirchhoff's law is basically of two types, Kirchhoff's first law and Kirchhoff's second law. First law is also called Kirchhoff's current law, and second law is basically most important, that is called Kirchhoff's loop law, or we can say Kirchhoff's voltage law. And we'll discuss the application of Kirchhoff's second law, that is combination of resistor in series combination as well as in parallel combination of resistor. Now we'll discuss next topic, which is called Wheatstone bridge, which is again a very important topic related to your board exam. So write down next heading, it is Wheatstone bridge. Next topic is Wheatstone bridge. So my dear student, Wheatstone is a person who can give a circuit. Basically that circuit is nothing but combination of 5 resistor. So write down what actually Wheatstone bridge is. It is a circuit, it is a combination of 5 resistor circuit. It is a combination of 5 resistor circuit. Nothing very difficult in this circuit, my dear student. Basically Wheatstone is a person who can give a arrangement of circuit, and in that circuit 5 resistors are present. That combination of 5 resistor is called Wheatstone bridge. So write down another definition of Wheatstone bridge. It is the combination of 5 resistor. Now see my dear student, he'll give a short of different kinds of circuit. Remember one more thing, my dear student, that every circuit which carry 5 resistor, most of the time it is considered to be Wheatstone bridge. So just check it out, what are the different types of circuits which is considered to be Wheatstone circuit, or we can say Wheatstone bridge. So check it out, dear student. Example of circuits, example of Wheatstone bridge circuits, Wheatstone bridge circuit, example of Wheatstone bridge circuit. So basically remember, a combination of 5 resistor is called Wheatstone bridge. So some kind of circuit are, most of the time you look Wheatstone bridge to be like this. So this is nothing but combination of 5 resistor. So this combination is said to be Wheatstone bridge. Let's suppose this point is A and this point is B. Now see my dear student, let's suppose this resistor is R1, this resistor is of resistance R2, this resistance is of R3, this resistance is of R4, and this resistance is of R5. Now see, we have 5 resistors. This circuit is considered to be Wheatstone bridge, or we can say Wheatstone circuit. So combination of 5 resistor in any kind of structure. Sometime the structure will be look like this. Let's suppose we have like this, one resistor, another resistor, third resistor, fourth resistor, and this is our fifth resistor. So here comes A, B. This resistor is of resistance R1, this is R2, R3, R4 and R5. So sometime the structure of circuit will be like this. Remember, 5 resistor is considered to be Wheatstone bridge. Moving forward, sometime the circuit will be like this, 1, 2, 3 and one resistor here, 4, another resistor here, so 5. Let's suppose this is A, this is B, this is R1, this is R2, R3, R4 and R5. So my dear student, combination of 5 resistor is considered to be Wheatstone bridge. Remember, the minimum number of resistor and maximum number of resistor must be 5. if 5 registers are there, then we can consider the circuit to be Wheatstone bridge. Now see my dear student, if the circuit will be look like this, then you must break this circuit in form of this. And remember my dear student, this circuit must be R5, and if this kind of circuit is there in your question, then convert this circuit into this form or convert this circuit into this form first. Then only you have to solve, because this is quite typical circuit. You can't understand, you can't handle the situation according to this circuit. So first convert this circuit in this form or in this form, and remember this second resistor must be connected here. All the resistors you can connect or other resistor other than this resistor anywhere, but remember this circuit must be present in this situation, or we can say in this situation. So combination of this kind of circuit, or we can say combination of 5 resistor in any electrical circuit, is considered to be Wheatstone bridge. Now see my dear student, let's suppose this point is to be C and this point is to be D. So this R5 resistor is connecting point C and point D with each other. This R5 resistor is connecting point C and point D with each other. Here also, let's suppose I am taking this point to be C and this point to be D. So see my dear student, A and B is these points, C and D is this point. So see, again R5 is connecting C point and D point with each other. So this resistor which is connecting point C and point D with each other is considered to be, dear student, bridge resistor. Remember, this resistor is considered to be bridge resistor. Similarly, this R5 is considered to be bridge resistor. Why this resistor is called bridge resistor? Because this resistor is connecting two different points, two terminals, we can say two terminals is connected with each other with the help of this resistor. That resistor is called R5. So this resistor is considered to be bridge resistor. Remember this thing. So conclusion, 5 combination of 5 resistor either in form of this type or this type. If the circuit is look like this type, then first convert this circuit into this form, or we can say in this form. And remember one thing, this resistor, second resistor, must be bridge resistor. If you have in question, you have this kind of resistor, first of all you have to convert this resistor into this form or in this form, then you have to solve. So this is all about Wheatstone bridge. So remember, combination of 5 resistor is called Wheatstone bridge, and this resistor, the resistor which is connected two ends in the circuit, that resistor is called, dear student, bridge resistor. Now in our syllabus we have only one thing to discuss about Wheatstone bridge, is balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So write down, dear student, topic is balanced condition of Wheatstone bridge. Balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. Balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. Write down, balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So we'll discuss only one thing in Wheatstone bridge, that is balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So check it out, dear student, what actually balance condition is. So I'm writing the topic, it is balanced condition of Wheatstone bridge. Balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So let's suppose, my dear student, we have combination of 5 resistor, and now we know that if in circuit 5 resistors are present, then the circuit is said to be Wheatstone bridge. Now check it out, what is the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So let's suppose this is R1 resistor, this is your R2 resistor, this is R3, R4 and R5. Now we know this resistor is basically bridge resistor which connect point C and point D to each other. Now my dear student, let's check it out. What is the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge? So let's suppose if the potential of point C is Vc and potential of point D is, my dear student, let's suppose Vd. So balance condition of Wheatstone bridge is balanced condition of Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge is potential across bridge resistor. Potential across bridge resistor is same. Potential across bridge resistor is same. This is basically balance condition of Wheatstone bridge, that potential across bridge resistor. Here comes this R5 is your bridge resistor, dear student. So this is your bridge resistor, and the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge is potential difference across the bridge resistor is, dear student, same. So see, potential difference across bridge resistor is same means Vc is equals to Vd. Now remember one more thing, my dear student. If potential across any resistor is same, I am writing here in form of note that potential across any resistor is same, then no current can flow across that resistor. You have to remember this point, dear student, that if potential difference across any resistor is same, I am repeating once again, if potential difference across any resistor is same, then across that resistor no current is flow, because we know that if you wish to flow the current, then there must be some potential difference across the resistor. So see, this is R5, and if potential across C point is Vc and potential across D point is Vd, then we'll say if the Wheatstone bridge is under balance condition, then no current can flow across the bridge resistor because potential difference across the bridge resistor is same. So I'll write here, if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then no current can flow across the bridge resistor. No current can flow across the bridge resistor. So remember this thing, if Wheatstone bridge is balanced. And what is the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge? Balance condition of Wheatstone bridge is potential across the bridge resistor is same, and we know that if across any resistor potential difference becomes same, then no current can flow across that resistor. So my dear student, if potential of point C is Vc, potential of point D is Vd, and we know that Wheatstone bridge is balanced. So if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then current across bridge resistor is not flowing because potential across the bridge resistor is same. So I hope you all understand what is actually the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. First thing about Wheatstone bridge is combination of 5 resistor is called Wheatstone bridge, and the resistor which connected two ends in circuit with each other, that resistor is called, dear student, bridge resistor. And remember one more thing, that if potential across any resistor is same, then on that resistor current is not capable to flow, because for flowing current between two ends we need some potential difference. This is very important point, my dear student. Remember, if you want to flow current across any resistor, then there must be some potential difference across that resistor. But here, as we know that the Wheatstone bridge is balanced, so if Wheatstone is balanced, then no current can flow across the bridge resistor, as under the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge, potential difference across the bridge resistor is same. So this is all about balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. Now, how to check either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not balanced. So write down next topic. Method to identify, write down method to identify either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not. Method to identify either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not. Write down next heading, method to identify either Wheatstone bridge is balanced. Method to identify either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not balanced. Method to identify either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not balanced. I'm writing here method to identify either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not. Method to identify either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not. So check it out, dear student. Method to identify either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not. So as we know that potential across bridge resistor is same, then no current can flow across the bridge resistor. This is basically the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So see, my dear student, let's suppose we have the combination of 5 resistor. The circuit look like this. If 5 resistor is there, then we can say the combination of resistor is nothing but Wheatstone bridge. So let's suppose this resistor is of resistance R1, this resistor is of resistance R2, this resistor is of resistance R3, this resistor is of resistance R4, and this resistor is of resistance R5. As we are, check it out either what is the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So as we know, if this point is C and this point is D, then potential across C and potential across D, that is potential across bridge resistor, is same, hence no current can flow across this bridge resistor. I am telling you how to check either Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not balanced. So let's suppose, my dear student, some current I is flowing. Let's suppose I current is flowing in this circuit. Let's suppose I current is flowing. Now see, as we know, meeting point of more than one wire is called junction. So see here, we have one wire in this direction, one wire in this direction, and one wire is in this direction. So this point is called junction. And another thing what we know about the property of current, when current form any junction, find any junction, current distributed himself. So let's suppose in this direction current is moving, some current is moving I1, and in this direction some current is moving I2. It means the I is distributed. In this direction current is I1 and in this direction current is I2. So this I current is distributed. Why? Because current find junction, and we know that if current find any junction, then current distributed himself. So let's suppose I1 current is moving in R1 resistor and I2 current is moving in R3 resistor. Now see, my dear student, as we know, potential across bridge resistor is same. I'll write here potential across the bridge resistor is same, hence no current can flow across the bridge resistor. No current can flow across the bridge resistor. So see my dear student, potential across bridge resistor is same. So we can say current is not flowing in bridge resistor. Now see, this current moves in this direction I1 and I2 current is moving in this direction. So here I1 current found a junction. Now we know that the property of current is if current find any junction, then current is distributed. So here I1 current find junction, but as we know potential across bridge resistor is same. So if potential across bridge resistor is same, then no current can flow across this bridge resistor, dear student. So this I1 moves in this direction. Similarly, now I2 is moving down. Again I2 find junction, and we know that if current find any junction, then current distributed himself. But as we know potential across the bridge resistor is same, so current cannot flow in R5. So this I2 current moves in forward direction, and now this R4 achieves I2 current and R2 achieves, dear student, I1 current. Now see here we have two different loops, or we can say distribute this Wheatstone circuit in two different loops or in two different circuit. Let's suppose this is our circuit first and this is our circuit second. I am applying Kirchhoff's second law. Why Kirchhoff's second law, dear student? Because current is flowing in this circuit. So if current is flowing in this circuit, then we can apply Kirchhoff's second law, because we know if as current is flowing in any circuit, then the loop is completed, or we can say circuit is closed. In that case we are capable to apply Kirchhoff's second law, and we all know about Kirchhoff's second law. Kirchhoff's second law says the sum of potential difference across every circuit element in a closed circuit must be equal to, dear student, 0. So check it out. I am making one loop. This is our first loop and this is our second loop. So my dear student, I am applying Kirchhoff's second law on both the loops. I'll distribute this circuit into two parts. So see here, by Kirchhoff's second law, I am applying Kirchhoff's second law in first loop. So see, from here let's move. So I am moving in this direction. I'll find R1. Now see, my direction and direction of current, I am moving like this. This is our first circuit, and I'll move like this for second circuit. So this is our second circuit. So see my dear student, this is loop first and this is loop second. So I am moving like this. I'll find R1. My direction and current direction is same. So if current direction and my direction is same, as we know, we'll write minus I1 R1. So moving forward, now see, I am moving like this. So in R5 no current is there, because I am considering that Wheatstone bridge is balanced, and if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then no current is flowing across the bridge resistor. So no current is there. Moving like this. Now turn like this. So my direction and current direction is opposite. So I'll write plus IR. Now see, I2 and R3. So I'll write plus I2 R3. And here again I'll come at same point, so it is equals to 0. Now take negative this side. So what we'll get, R2 R3 is equals to I1 R1. Let's suppose this is our first equation. Now similarly I'll apply Kirchhoff's second law in this loop. So I'll applying by Kirchhoff's second law in loop second. Now I am applying Kirchhoff's second law in loop second. As we know that Kirchhoff's second law says the potential difference across every circuit element in a closed circuit must be equal to 0, and we know that if my direction and current direction is same, then I'll write minus IR. If my direction and current direction across the resistor is different, then I'll write plus IR. So see, I am moving in this direction. My direction and current direction in resistor R2 is same. So I'll write minus I1 R2. Now moving forward, see, I am counter with R4. In R4 I2 current is there, and my direction and current direction is opposite. So if my direction and current direction is opposite, then I'll write plus I2 R4. Now In R5, as we know, we are considering Wheatstone bridge to be balanced. So no current can flow across the bridge resistor. So it is equals to 0. Now take negative this side. What we'll get? R2 R4 is equals to I1 R1. So this is our equation number second and this is our equation number first. Now I'll divide equation first and equation second. So I'll write divide equation first and equation second. So I1 R1 divided by I'm sorry, I1 and R2. Here it is R2. So I1 R1 divided by I1 R1 divided by I1 R2 is equals to I2 R3 divided by I2 R4. Now see, I1 get cancelled, R2 get cancelled. So R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4. This is basically balanced condition of Wheatstone bridge. This is nothing but balanced condition of Wheatstone bridge. So my dear student, remember this derivation is very important. This is the method how we'll balance the Wheatstone bridge. So if ratio of these two resistors and ratio of these two resistors become same, then we'll say Wheatstone bridge is balanced. So write down note, if R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4. Write down, if R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4, then we'll consider Wheatstone bridge. Then we will consider Wheatstone bridge to be balanced. Then we'll consider Wheatstone bridge to be balanced. So see my dear student, if the ratio of these two resistors and ratio of these two resistors become same, then we'll consider Wheatstone bridge is to be balanced. Second step, if you will get ratio become same, then remember Wheatstone bridge is balanced. And if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then write down, if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then no current can flow across the bridge resistor. No current can flow across the bridge resistor. Hence if no current can flow across the bridge resistor, then we can say hence if no current can flow across the bridge resistor, then we have to remove the bridge resistor. We have to remove the bridge resistor from the circuit. We have to remove the bridge resistor from the circuit. So remember my dear student, I hope you all understand, because Kirchhoff's law is not quite so difficult. Just remember the sign convention. If your direction and current direction is same, then you have to write minus IR. If your direction and current direction across the resistor is different, then you have to write plus IR. For in case of battery, if you will move from positive to negative, you have to write minus V. If you will move from negative to positive, you have to write plus V. So see, if you will get same ratio, then we have to remove the bridge resistor, my dear student, from the circuit. See, if we'll check if the circuit is balanced, then we have to remove the bridge resistor from the circuit. If Wheatstone bridge is balanced, remember, if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then we have to remove the bridge resistor from the circuit. Now see, if bridge resistor is removed, after then check it out. This R1 and R2 carry same current. So if both the resistor carry same current, then these resistor is said to be in series. Similarly, R2 and R3, R2 and R4 carry same current. So both the resistor is series, and after then these two resistors are in series, then these two resistors are in series, then after then the combination is in parallel. So this is how we'll solve the Wheatstone bridge situation. Remember, if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, and we know the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge, if ratio becomes equal, that is R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4, then we'll say Wheatstone bridge is balanced. And if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then remove the bridge resistor from the circuit, because no current can flow across that resistor. And if no current is flowing across that resistor, then we don't need to carry forward that resistor, because if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, it implies no current can flow across the bridge resistor, as potential across the bridge resistor is same. So this is how we'll solve the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. Moving forward, let's take one example. So write down, find the net resistance. Find the net resistance between point A and B. Find the net resistance between points A and B. Find the net resistance between point A and B. Find the net resistance between point A and B. Find the net resistance between point A and B. So my dear student, see, the circuit is like this: one resistor, second resistor, third resistor, fourth resistor, A, B. Check it out. There is one more resistor. So you have to find net resistance between A and B. See, let's suppose this is 1 ohm and this is 2 ohm. Or we can say, let's suppose this is 2 ohm and this is also 2 ohm. This is 3 ohm and this is 3 ohm. Let's suppose this is 10 ohm. So see, my dear student, as we know, if a combination of 5 resistors is present in any circuit, then that circuit is considered to be Wheatstone bridge. Now check it out, dear student. We have 5 resistors here, R1, R2, R3 and R4. So let's suppose this resistor is of resistance R1, R2, R3 and this is R4. And let's suppose this resistor is R5. So my dear student, first you have to check either the Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not. So the process for checking balance condition of Wheatstone bridge is R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4. So this resistor is of R1, that is 2. This is also 2. So 2 and 2 get 1 by 1 is equals to, this is 3 and this is 3. So 3 by 3, again 1 by 1. So see, R1 by R2 becomes equals to R3 by R4 here. So if R1 by R2 becomes equals to R3 by R4, then we'll show Wheatstone bridge is balanced. So I'll write here, Wheatstone bridge is balanced. Wheatstone bridge is balanced. Now, as we know, if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then we have to remove this bridge resistor from the circuit, as no current can flow across this bridge resistor. So if Wheatstone bridge becomes balanced, we have to remove this circuit, as R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4. So this resistance is removed from here. Now see, my dear student, if I'll flap this, then it becomes in straight line. So if this becomes in straight line, then this R2 and this R2 is in series. So we know that in series combination, net resistance is nothing but R1 plus R2. So we can write here 2 plus 2, it is 4 ohm. Similarly, if I'll flap these two resistors, then it will be in straight line, and if resistors are in straight line, then the resistor is considered to be in series combination. So this is also in series and we know that R net is nothing but R1 plus R2 in series. So this becomes equals to 3 plus 3. It is nothing but 6 ohm. Now see, these two resistors are connected between point A and B. See my dear student, I am making the circuit again. So this is our point A and this is our point B. So these two resistors are connected between point A and B. So connect one resistor having resistance now 4 ohm between point A and B. Similarly, this 3 and this 3 are also connected between point A and B, and we'll get its net resistance because both the resistors are in series. So R1 plus R2, 3 plus 3 it is 6. So again here I'll make another resistor of resistance 3 and 3 means R3 and R4. So these two resistors are again connected between point A and B. Remember, along that point the resistors are connected. Remove, if you will get the net resistance, then net resistance is also connected across similar point. So A and B, so I write here 6 ohm. Now see my dear student, these both resistors are in parallel combination, and we know in parallel combination these two resistors are in parallel combination, and we know that the net resistance in parallel combination is 1 by R net is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 means 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. So remember dear student, 1 by R net is equals to, see my dear student, you have to take LCM and after then you will get your net resistance. So conclusion is, if 5 resistors are connected in any circuit, then check either the ratio, that is R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4 is there or not there. If ratio of R1 and R2 and ratio of R3 and R4 becomes equal, then remember the Wheatstone bridge is balanced. And if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then you have to remove the bridge resistor from the circuit, as no current is flowing across that resistor because potential difference across the bridge resistor is same if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, and this is the balance condition of, dear student, Wheatstone bridge. So I hope you all understand the concept of Wheatstone bridge, the balance condition of Wheatstone bridge, and how to deal the question for Wheatstone related to Wheatstone bridge. Remember, if 5 resistors are present, then check first either the Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not balanced. If Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then it is very easy to solve. Moving forward, let's do one more numerical, dear student, related to Wheatstone bridge. So write down, find the net resistance, find the net resistance, find the net resistance between points A and B, between points A and B in the given circuit. Find the net resistance between points A and B in the given circuit, in the given circuit. So check it out, dear student. The circuit is, let's suppose 5 resistors are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this point is B, this point is A. Here comes R5. So let's suppose this resistor is of 10 ohm, this resistor is of 10 ohm, this is of 20 ohm, this is of 20 ohm, and let's suppose this is 30 ohm. So we have to find net resistance between A and B point. So my dear student, let us imagine this must be R1, R2, R3, R4, and this resistor be R5. Now check it out, the combination in circuit is of 5 resistor, and we know that if 5 resistors are there, then the circuit is considered to be Wheatstone bridge. So check either the circuit is balanced or not. So balance condition of Wheatstone bridge is, balance condition of Wheatstone bridge, Wheatstone bridge, that is R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4. You have to check. So R1 by R2, that is 10 by 10, it becomes equals to 1 by 1. R3 by R4, 20 by 20. Again, it becomes 1 by 1. So here, my dear student, R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4. So if this happens, then we can say Wheatstone bridge is balanced. And if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then we know that current across the bridge resistor is not flowing, because potential across the bridge resistor is same. And if Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then we have to remove the bridge resistor. First, we have to check either the Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not. If Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then you have to remove the bridge resistor. So after removing the bridge resistor, see, these two resistors comes in series. So in series, we know that R net becomes equals to R1 plus R2. So it is 10 plus 10. So it is equals to 20 ohm. Similarly, these R3 and R4 resistor is also in series, and we know that in series net resistance is R1 plus R2. So it is 20 plus 20. It becomes equals to 40 ohm. Now see, my dear student, these two resistors are connected between point A and B. These two resistors are also connected between point A and B. So after removing these two resistors, we'll get 20 and connect that resistor, that 20 ohm resistor between point A and B. And here, after removing these two resistors, 40 ohm will get, connect 40 ohm with A and B. So here, this is point A, this is our point B. Here it is 20 ohm, this is 40 ohm. Now see, both the resistors are in parallel. So as we know that parallel is nothing but 1 by R net is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So 1 by R1 means 1 by 20 plus 1 by 40. Find the value of R net after getting LCM. So this is basically the funda, how to solve the concept, or we can say how to solve the question related to Wheatstone bridge, dear students. So I hope you all now understand how to solve the balance condition, how to check the Wheatstone bridge to be balanced or not balanced. If Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then remove the bridge resistor across the circuit, you will get your net resistance. Moving forward, my dear student, write down next topic. It is next part of this chapter called battery. So write down next topic, battery. Next topic is batteries. Batteries. So dear student, batteries is of two types. Next topic is batteries. So dear student, in physics, batteries is of two types. Batteries is of two types. First is called ideal batteries. First is called ideal batteries, which will make in circuit. Which will make in circuit is considered to be ideal battery. And second is your practical batteries. So second is practical batteries. So we have two different kinds of batteries, dear student. One is our ideal battery and second is our practical battery. So see, the battery which is made in circuit is considered to be ideal battery, and the battery which is used practical in our remote, in our any kind of electrical gadget in which battery is there, that battery which will use practically is called practical batteries. Both the batteries are, dear student, different. Now see what actually ideal batteries and what actually practical batteries. So if I am talking about ideal battery, so I'll write here, in ideal batteries, only the terminals are present. Only the terminals are present. So dear student, this is nothing but ideal battery. So this is basically considered to be ideal battery. These two sticks, one represents higher potential and another represents lower potential. Smaller stick represent lower potential and bigger stick represents higher potential. So basically this kind of circuit in which only terminal, this plus and minus, is called terminals. So if only terminals are present, then the battery is said to be, dear student, ideal battery. Remember, if only terminals are present, then the battery is considered to be ideal battery. And one terminal represents higher potential, the positive terminal represents as higher potential and negative terminal represents as lower potential. Moving forward, if I am talking about practical battery which we'll use, so I'll write here in practical batteries, along with the terminals, internal resistance is also present. So my dear student, remember, the battery which is used practically in our day-to-day life is basically practical battery. And in practical battery, see, in practical battery, along with terminals, there is one more thing is there. Along with terminals, internal resistance is also there. So see how the practical battery look likes. So this is basically our practical battery. In practical battery, along with the terminals, this is basically terminals. Let's suppose the potential of the battery is V. So this is nothing but terminal, and along with the terminal there is one more thing which is present. This is called internal resistance. This is called internal resistance. So remember, dear student, if I am talking about battery, then in physics battery is of two types.